Hi, what's good, y'all? I'm gonna explain a little. I'm just gonna go through a little bit of sauce here. So I'm here at yesterday's open. Let's mark out 9:30. All right, let's just let some stuff play out. Obviously, my model, or not like my model, but I'm usually waiting till the 10 a.m. open. You can see we have draws higher, and then we have the overall draw, which is the weekly gap down here. So I'll mark that out. Bring this over here. Those are our two main draws for the day, right? So what does 9:30 do? Manipulate higher. I called this out in the Discord, by the way. You can see we reject from the 4s, which is also like a 15-minute gap over here. And then we wait. Clearly distributing lower. We have the 10 a.m. open right here. Mark that out, 10 a.m. open. Looking for shorts from here would have been actually peak, like from this to this. This would have been a valid short. However, this one just didn't want to come up and play, and we ended up taking out the draw on liquidity, which is lower. But at the same time, you can mark out the manipulation of the high that we put in, which would be this right here. You can also mark out like this manipulation as well. They both line up right here. You can mark out the first OTE leg. You can see the -1 is also down there. But we obviously see that this gets hit, and then the 2.5s get hit as well. So just gonna wait for reaction higher. The -1 got hit. So now we start distributing higher, right? We can mark out our manipulation from here. And the thing is, we've untapped 10 a.m. open. This is going to be a draw on liquidity, right? Because we're going to want to trade higher, but we're going to have to come up and trade to this untapped 10 a.m. open because there was no manipulation above the 10 a.m. open. So we can expect this entire move to be manipulation to trade higher. So now there wasn't really much anything to do here because if you look at the 5-minute chart, this is what you see. So if we skip ahead to the 9 a.m. open, right here, 9 a.m., which is the noon macro. That's another key open that I talk about. I'll mark this out here. We have the noon macro. Alright, so now we're going to want to see, because this is a new hourly candle, right? We want to see manipulation lower before we can trade higher. In any case, it could be like a candle range theory, or it could be like some sort of retracement to an rejection block, anything. But just we need price to either displace higher and retap and take longs, price to manipulate higher, come down if we want to be bearish, and then retrace to here and then take shorts. But let's see what happens here. You can see we immediately displace higher. We're going to want to see price now come down and retrace to the noon open, but we still have zero manipulation below here, so we want to see price manipulate lower first if we want to be bullish. If we want to be bearish, we're going to want to see price close through here pretty strongly, preferably getting like a CISD from here. Let's see if that happens. Nope. And we ended up putting in this displacement back through here. We have this IFVG for confirmation. What can you do? Mark out your OTE from here to here. Now you might be saying we have all these low resistance lows, but the thing is that this low is going to be protected because it manipulated into a weekly gap, and the 10 a.m. open has no manipulation, so this entire move down has to be manipulation to trade higher. So what happens, we can put our limit order the same way that you do at the 10 a.m. open. Put your limit order at the noon macro. It gets tapped in. Run your 10-point stop loss or 15-point stop loss depending on the day. In this case, it would have been 15 points to be, actually you just want to run it below the 0.79, so like this would be the most preferable stop loss, and then targeting the 10 a.m. open up here. or you could target all the way. You could target all the way up here, but you see we have a -3 right here. We have these 2.5s like that are getting rejected. You could honestly even just like target this high, but in my model, like for the key opens, I want to target at least a 5R. So let this run. This is going to be a break-even point right here, and yeah, let this run. Break even fairly quickly. Move your stop up to here, and it runs full TP. That's just like simply using hourly opens. It's like the noon macro. People talk about like the noon reversal, the lunchtime reversal. That's what the noon macro is, and obviously you can see it does deliver the reversal. And then what happens the rest of the day? We end up continuing to trade higher. But if you look at ES even ripped more. So you gotta pay attention to both indexes, but that's just like a simple way to use a different key open than like the 10 a.m. open. Say the 10 a.m. open gets no manipulation above or below. You can use it as a target the same way you can use midnight open as a target, same way you can use the noon open as a target. You can use every key open as a target as long as you don't have manipulation. Like you could target it all the way to the drawn liquidity, which is up here 307 points, and that's 16 RR, and that shit gets smacked. You can see like that beautiful delivery. That's just some sauce for you guys.